Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with G. Bush and soon Tyvis Powell. I'm Adam the Bull. There's the empty chair that will be Tyvis Powell in a little bit. We've got Anthony, Mike, and Steve on the other side of the glass. Technically, Anthony is on this side of the glass, not on the other side, because he's waiting to help Tyvis get in the building. All kinds of shenanigans.
Tyvis is late and forgot his tapper. So
oh, my God.
Bad job out of Tyvis.
G. Bush, first thing I noticed today, because I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks, even though it's not that long a period of time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm used to seeing everybody every day or a few days, but I haven't seen any of you guys in 2 weeks. You look like you've dropped a bunch of weight in just a couple of weeks.
And I'm just trying.
You're looking good.
Shout out to the people that me and my wife McNuggets, as he knows, we do our nightly walks.
That's awesome.
So like I was doing a lot of shooting and doing different stuff. So I was like, man, I gotta find a little balance here. So what me and my wife started doing was we started walking around the neighborhood. So we got these little paths and these little trails we go. So we imagine that we're racers and we're now going on. We've named these little trails or whatever on the street. Cool. So if you guys see us on the street, honk, say hi. So your people be pulling up. So I've met a lot of neighbors. Oh, listen. You know, it's crazy because we kind of live in like a Jewish neighborhood. Yeah. And so I feel like I'm more intact because there are the group of Jewish people that live in our neighborhood are the ones that don't. It's like on Saturday and Sunday they don't like drive or something.
Orthodox.
Yeah. Like they got the black on.
Oh, are they Hasidic? They have the curls?
Some of them do.
Yeah. Okay.
But they don't drive.
Right.
They have this,
on the Sabbath.
Yeah, you're on the Sabbath.
Friday sundown to Saturday.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So basically, we be seeing them now, and we be like, "Hey, how you doing over there? Yeah. Hey, how y'all doing?" They be like, "Man, when did he start walking? Who's this new dude in the Who's this new dude in the neighborhood?" I'm like, I've been here about 3-4 years. I just decided to do something with my life. I usually was playing video games, but now, so
man.
Man.
You, man.
I'm trying, man. Hey, so listen, speaking of world tour, you've been all around, bro. I forgot that you was in that many places, man. You did. You were in another country. Yeah. You didn't change citizenship, did you?
I did not change citizenship. No. But
there's been some stuff going on.
But we had a great time. You know, it's funny. We were supposed to do a week-long trip. We were going to visit my college in Western New York, and then we were going to Niagara-on-the-Lake, which is a town that has all these shows. And then we were going to some other places in Canada, and then Toronto. We had to shorten the trip because the day before I was supposed to leave for this trip, so we were leaving last Monday morning, and on Sunday, I'm out at the baseball field because for this fall baseball league, not only do I coach, but I'm also the president of the league. So even when my team's not playing, I go and I check out what's going on in the other games. There's Tyvis making his appearance.
And he got a pick, too.
A pick?
I ain't seen a pick in a long time.
Damn, that's old school.
Hey, listen, let me find
I see that hair growing in the front.
Hey, listen, okay.
Look at that.
Hey, listen, this is
the longest I've ever seen your hair, Tyvis.
Hey, listen. If you want, you gonna get you some. What you doing? Some dreads? You want some twists?
You know I've been having my sponge.
Put a mic on, Ty.
Get that
put your mic on. We can't hear you.
Little sponge.
Sponge game. You know what I'm saying? Okay. He got a little hang time. Bull was in the middle of telling us when he was on the world tour.
So I was on this. 12 hours before we're supposed to leave, I'm at the baseball field. I was just stopping by for 5 minutes to just check out the other games and what's going on. And as I'm sitting chatting with some parents, somebody comes to get to me and goes, is that your car that's parked, blah, blah, blah? I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, your front windshield just got busted.
Oh, that has to be the worst.
Picture you sent.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're like, is that your car?
Do you have Safe Flight?
I called Safe Flight. Do I have it? Like, do I have it nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they couldn't. First of all, I had to go to them. I thought they come to you, but apparently with my kind of car,
I thought they came to you too.
But I couldn't. They couldn't fix it till Tuesday, so we couldn't leave until Tuesday.
I thought they were supposed to come on site and get that boy together right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but it didn't happen. Anyway,
False
they
advertising.
took great care of me once I went in there. But shout out to the Safe Flight and Avon. They did good work. But so that delayed our trip.
Okay.
So we had to cut out some of the early part of the trip, including the visit to my college. But we still did our whole Toronto thing, and we had a great time. And we packed a lot of action in to not a lot of time. We were in Toronto like Wednesday morning till early Thursday night, so not even 48 hours. We went to 2 baseball games. We went to the aquarium. We went to that CN Tower, which is I don't know if you've seen it on TV by the Blue Jay Stadium. We went to the Royal whatever museum. And so, yeah, we did all those things in like 36 hours and had some good meals, too. People are so friendly. I mean, I know Canada has that reputation.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Cubs gear, in Toronto. The place is packed. There's 50,000 at both games. Not one person gave me a hard time about the Cubs gear. Not one.
I heard Toronto is like a major, like it's an international city. Like when you see,
oh, my God. So that's funny that you say that because there's not a lot that I don't like about where we live here in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
The worst, to me, one of the few negatives about Cleveland is it's not a diverse city, especially where I live on the west side. I mean, it's just not at all. And it's so rare that I hear another language around here.
Right, yeah, that is true.
Like I'm used to growing up in New York where I hear Spanish all the time and Russian and whatever. But that's a long time ago. But anyway, I must have heard, when we were waiting. Now this is a touristy thing anyway because we're going up to the top of the tower. I must have heard 20 different languages going up to the tower.
That's crazy.
There was people from India and China and Korea. And I was talking to this woman and her kid who were from, I think, Brazil. I can't remember now what it was, Brazil or Argentina. I don't remember now. But there was, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And people were nice and the food was good. I had poutine for the first time.
don't
Have
even
you
know
had
that.
poutine?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
Dude. Have any of you guys had poutine?
I had poontang.
It's delicious.
It's really good.
Dude, poutine is awesome. As somebody, Tyvis just did a triple pause, by the way.
That was
He did.
That's not even a pause because it's not like a hidden meeting.
Yeah,
I mean,
We're just gonna let it fly.
Yeah.
We're gonna let it fly.
Yeah.
So, dude, here's what poutine is. It's French fries with melted cheese and gravy.
I'm down for that.
I got it at the
fries,
ballpark.
melted
Usually
cheese.
ballpark food can be hit or miss.
I'm down for that.
Awesome.
I'm down
That
for that.
sounds unhealthy.
Of course it's unhealthy.
Yeah, like
sounds unhealthy.
It sounds like something great when you got a couple drinks in you at 2 a.m.
Yeah, right.
Boy.
Yeah, right. Growing up in New York, we would go to the diner at 2 in the morning. We called it disco fries.
Yeah. Man, we might have called them something else, man.
Yeah.
I think in Cincinnati they be putting like some chili on it though. Like
that would have been great on there too. But
yeah.
it was really good. The poutine was good. I actually had good pizza in Toronto, if you can believe
Really?
that. One of the, I'd say definitely top 10 pizzerias I've had outside
For
of New
you
York.
to say that?
Yeah,
That's
it was really
crazy
good.
to hear.
It was really good. And we just had a great time. On the way back to the States, we went to Niagara Falls for the Canadian side. Has anybody been there?
Yes, I've been there twice.
Amazing. That town is crazy.
The amusement park, the
That
falls.
is nuts. For those who have never been there,
Twice.
It's like Atlantic City. I don't know what it's like. It's like the Jersey Shore.
It's Gatlinburg. If you've ever been to Gatlinburg, Tennessee,
I have not been.
I have not.
So you've been there too?
I've been to Niagara Falls and Gatlinburg.
That town is
It's
just
copy and
bizarre.
paste.
It's like it's
Did you go
it's
under the
complete-
falls?
No.
I did.
It's
you did?
When I
completely
was young, I
different
did.
from the American side. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
side.
I never seen it from the American side. I only seen it from
The only thing about the American side is you can get closer, but the view from the Canadian side is much
it's
better.
crazy. That
Yeah.
whole
I mean,
and it lights up at night.
It was beautiful. And then we went on the way back. We stopped in Buffalo at this place called Bar Bill's, which is famous for their beef on weck sandwich, which is like a roast beef on this roast. It was incredible, and wings. And we met up with some friends that I haven't seen in forever from college.
Is it me or like every time I go, because I used to be going in the fall.
Yeah.
Like Buffalo be seeing like it be dark. Like I drove through Buffalo to get to Niagara Falls. And I was looking around. I was like, "Do Buffalo got lights?"
Yeah, listen, their weather's worse than ours.
It's
a good town though.
Yes,
Buffalo's
it's
like
dark.
it's like
Cleveland.
a smaller Cleveland.
Yeah, it's this is Cleveland.
Yeah. It's really a nice city. Also, that gets picked on a lot, like Cleveland does. It's not as big.
Their fans are.
They're great fans, just like we have here. There's no doubt about it.
Fans is dope.
I had a great time. By the way, one last thing. So this past Sunday, last year in the championship game, you guys probably don't remember, but we beat an undefeated team.
Yeah.
To win the championship in fall ball last year, right? So we were playing them this past Sunday for the first time. And they were 3-0 again coming into the game. We were 2-0. Every team plays a doubleheader once during the season. They've played theirs. We haven't. That's why they have one more win. And they had outscored their opponents 49-5 in the first 3 games. And some of the parents were mad. They were like, "Oh, nobody can beat that team." Blah blah. We beat them 12-3. Oh, 12-3.
I mean, y'all nice like that. Y'all nice like that.
We had a kid thrown out at the plate trying to steal home. If he would have scored, we would have mercy ruled them after 5 innings.
They're running laps right now, Tyvis.
Wait a minute, you told your players to steal home?
Well, there's a wild pitch.
Wild pitch.
Oh, okay.
You know, but shout out to this kid, a new kid on my team named Owen Miller. He's from Bay Village. He pitched 5 innings, had 10 strikeouts, and gave up 3 hits against the team. And Aaron, against the best pitcher he's ever faced, the pitcher on this other team is a kid named Finn David, really good travel league pitcher.
I mean, he sounds like it. His name is Finn David.
Really good left-handed hard throw. He throws curveballs. He throws all kinds of
name.
stuff. Aaron took him to right center for a triple. If Aaron was a little faster, he would have had an inside the park home run.
Aaron, is he a monster now? I feel like his game. They need to test him. Is he
His offense is really good. He's a good player. His defense still needs a lot of work, but his offense.
What is he playing on defense?
In Little League, he played first base, but for fall ball, he's playing like left field, a little third base.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
But anyway, I was really proud of him. So.
Well, we're glad to have you back, Bull.
I'm thrilled. And by the way, last thing, I'm thrilled to be back. I missed all you guys. I missed the fans. And I'm excited that football is starting, and we're getting back to being on almost every day at this point.
Yes.
You're on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, this week, next week.
Yeah, the next 2 weeks, and then we're back to full time after that.
All right, let's dive in, guys. Plenty to talk about today. But first, a reminder that FanDuel, later this month, on August 26th, it is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions, so whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before Week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is a one day only event. FanDuel, play your game when you want on America's #1 sportsbook. So, guys, right before we got off the air yesterday, we got the official announcement from the Cleveland Browns that Joe Flacco will be their Week 1 starting quarterback. I don't think any of us are shocked by that news. I think it's what we all anticipated. So before we advance this discussion to the next part, I want to give you guys a chance, Bull. I know you instant reacted to it yesterday on your podcast. You did a show this morning, but give us your initial reaction to the Browns naming Joe Flacco their starting quarterback before we dive into the rest of what that means for everyone else.
Guys, I think this was the obvious choice. This was the choice that made the most sense. I know we'll never know for sure. I know, Jason and a few others thought that the team wanted to start Kenny Pickett. We'll never know for sure if that was the case or not. Obviously, when he got hurt, that went out the window because he hasn't played. It never made sense for either of the rookies to start. First of all, the fact that there was 4 guys taking reps at different times, whatever you think about the distribution of reps, those guys just didn't get enough reps to be ready to play Week 1 of the season. Mm-hmm. And just in general, like, how often does a rookie quarterback that's not a first-round pick play Week 1? I mean, it's a rarity. It doesn't happen very often. And what's the rush? I understand as part of something, they might draft a quarterback next year. The bottom line is, I don't think it would benefit either of these rookie quarterbacks to play Week 1. Especially, I know the Bengals' defense isn't very good, but there's going to be pressure to keep up with Joe Burrow. You're playing some really good defenses the first 6 weeks. Like, I think it always made total sense for Joe Flacco to play. Not only does he give them the best chance to win, he also sometimes in the media, sometimes as a fan, you're like, well, the team's going to stink anyway. What's the difference? The players, as you guys know better than anybody, the players don't think that way. Players want to win. Mm-hmm. And all the veteran players were like, well, Joe, we got a chance, right? It feels like we got a guy who's a pro. He's not that he's not going to make mistakes. He's going to get picked off, we know. But, the defense is not going to throw anything at him that he hasn't seen before. He's not going to be, fooled in that way. So for professionalism and stability, it always made sense for Joe Flacco to start. I would have announced it sooner, but I'm glad they did.
I go back and look at this, and this was always what I thought. If I go back to the beginning, and people talked about Pickett, and I said, hey, that's it's a good signing. If they want to figure out what they got, but he's not better than Joe Flacco. He's just not. I never saw it. The only thing I think Pickett is better at is mobility and moving the pocket a little bit. But other than that, Joe had all of the, even when you talk about the rookies, even, Shador, he goes and talks to Joe. He says, the Browns had a little video up about the quarterback competition. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, man, I be just watching Joe Flacco and I be looking at some of the stuff he do. And I try to emulate it a little bit. And, for the younger guys, it's like this. I've always felt like the competition was who's the guy after Joe. That was the main issue for me. The main competition is
who's the second
who's
shot.
That second shot for me.
Yeah.
So Joe is there, but I'll give you a quick example. When I went to OU, I felt like I was going to go to a bigger school than was at OU. Mm-hmm. So when I got there, I was on a warpath. I was like, oh no, I'm about practice. Y'all gonna have to see me every week. And I remember there was a guy in front of me. Shout out to Andre Parker. He went to Cincinnati Whitten Woods. He says he was ahead of me. He broke his hand, and they had another injury. And they had planned on redshirting me. And so I went out in the first little scrimmage we had. They were like, yeah, we got these things called bonus points. I said, how you going to tell me I'm from McKinley? I'm Mr. Bonus Points. What are you talking about? So we go out there, and they're like, you had the most bonus points we've ever seen production-wise. Look at this. The coach is up there like, this is a freshman. Look at he's doing all this other stuff. We go through the practice. I'm in the twos now. I called my dad. I said, it's a wrap. We playing Minnesota. We got Iowa State. Give me my travel suit. Man, they came to me a week before and said, yeah, man, we're going to put Andre Parker's his wrist in a cast and we're going to play him. I said, what? What you talking about? I said, I've been killing. I'm him. Before him. I can't say that. I'm sorry. That's blasphemous a little bit. I'm him right now. They was like, yeah, let me tell you something. Do you want to play when you start every game and never come out? Or you just want to be on the travel team and look around? If we put you on the travel team and look around, what good does that do? You just wasted a year. You're doing nothing. And I said, you know what? It sucked. It didn't make no sense to me at the time. But as I look back, the very next year, the entire coaching staff left, right? So I was like, wow, what if the entire coaching staff would have left? I would have had a whole nother year, and I would have just been wasting a year eligibility. So sometimes you get what you need, not what you want. And the thing that I always got, Tyvis, was that year I felt relieved because I didn't have to, right? I didn't have to play. It wasn't. In my mind, physically, I was ready to do it. But mentally, emotionally, I was like, man, I got to go to class too. And I didn't like going to class.
You was one of them.
Oh, no. I didn't. I was like, hold on. So you meaning to tell me I got to be in class all day and then go lift? Nah, one of these classes is going to get missed. So I had to learn,
he was cutting class?
Oh, what are you talking about? I don't know why I graduated. I used to tell them all I need is a syllabus.
C's get degrees.
Yeah, I said,
darn right.
I said, I got to lift these weights, but it was the best thing for me. And if you Shador Sanders or you Dylan Gabriel, whatever the case may be, now you got that runway, that 5 game runway where now you watching and seeing the mistakes and how Stefanski don't like certain things and like it. So it's a blessing in disguise, I think, a lot. But I'm anxious to see the next part of the conversation, who the next person up. But Flacco, we know.
With Flacco being named, I was relieved because for a long time, Jason and Zach and everybody's come in and they said that Flacco looked the best out of the 4 quarterbacks. So when everybody kept throwing the Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel thing in the conversation, it had me a little hesitant because – you hear Jason and when Jason talks, he's speaking from a business part of it. He's speaking about the front office and stuff because that he does know that. Like, and what he's saying is 100% right. Where it's like the fans that's like, what's the point of being good? Like, you don't do yourself no good from being 7-10 or 8-9 this season because now you're moving yourself away from potentially drafting a franchise quarterback. And when I hear him talk like that, I know he's 100% right with saying that. But the athlete and the competitor and me being in the locker room, like, that's never been a conversation. Like, that type losing games has never been a thing that I've ever heard in the locker room. So when I speak, I'm speaking for the people that's playing on the team. And if they would have named anybody but Joe the starter, it would have then echoed what Jason was saying.
Yes.
So for me to see that Joe is the starter tells me, like, at least the locker room and Kevin Stefanski and the coaching staff, at least they all on the same page.
At least they ain't crazy.
We trying to win. Like, I know what the front office may want and what might be best for us years from now, but we trying to win. So when I seen him name it, I was like, okay, so they are trying to win games. As far as the other guys go, you hit that right on the head. I think for some odd reason, when I look at these two quarterbacks, the two younger guys, I look at it as I think subconsciously Kevin may feel like he did some of the younger guys he had, like DTR. Like, I feel like he may have wronged them a little bit. You know, there's mixed reports out with why DTR wasn't able to survive here or why he didn't thrive here and all these things. But I think Kevin looks at it probably like, that's on me. Like, at the end of the day, that's on me. I'm supposed to be this quarterback whisperer and all this guru stuff, and this kid looked the way he looked. So his career is what it is because of me or what I didn't do. So I think with these two young guys, he's really hand walking and slow walking this process because he want to make sure they get it right before they go out there. I think the DTR thing is he kind of just got forced into the role and he became what he was. But these two guys, especially with Shedeur, for whatever reason, he must see something special in him. Like, Shedeur is the ultimate gamer. Like, I don't know. In practice, he looks great, but in the games, he's just special in the games. And I think they recognize that, and I think that that's why he's, like, trying to really slow walk before he gives them the reins to go. He's really hand walking him through this process. You think about the Joe Thomas coming out and saying, like, even when the ones was on, and the twos was on the field, Kevin stood behind Shedeur to watch him take reps to see what he's seeing. Like, I think he really is trying to get into that developmental part of him and Dillon Gabriel. So I say all that to say I was relieved with Joe Flacco being named the starter.
Tyvis, you made some great points there, especially the fact that you learn as a coach, or whatever you're doing. We learn as broadcasters. The longer you do something, the better you are at it. No, you know, you may have a limit to how good you can be, but the longer you do something, the more you're going to improve.
Yeah.
And the Browns have been, you know, and even though there have been times in the last year where I'm like, forget Stefanski, he's a bum and blah, blah. The bottom line is, in general, it's good to stick with a coach.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're probably right. He's probably looking back at the things he did wrong, and he's like, I can't do it with these guys. And I know this sounds crazy. I thought all along there'd be no chance the Browns keep four quarterbacks. And I still am not convinced that they will keep four quarterbacks.
I think they'll have four on the initial.
Yeah.
We talk about when you go against Cincinnati, I don't think it'll be four.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Who's the odd man out then?
Well, I'll say this.
You know who the odd man out is. The one that's in the tub. That's by default.
But here's the thing. We just all agreed, right, that it's better for Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel not to play right away. Mm-hmm. Right? We're all on the same page with that. I would keep Kenny Pickett if I could. You guys know how I feel about him. I don't think he's any good. But if Joe Flacco gets hurt in the first week or two, now we're force-feeding those rookies when we didn't want to do that.
So how it goes.
And I would rather not do that. So I would keep Kenny Pickett for that situation. And then after a few weeks, 4 weeks in, then I'd move on.
I'm willing to say this, and I don't mean to say this.
Yeah.
But just history says this.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco will get hurt at some point this season.
Probably will.
He's 40,
He's probably going to get hurt.
I'm 43. I get out of bed.
Yeah, but 5-6 weeks in,
I
could go to the
I think it might be before that because for some odd reason, anytime that there is a a quarterback that's in the weeds that people want to see, something happens to the starter.
It does seem
every
to happen.
time. Every time.
Right,
You got to go out there.
Is that good? What if Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders have to play game 2? Is that good?
Big boy work.
Is it good against Baltimore? I guess we'll find out. I think that, at the end of the day, what you will find out is, are you going to sink or swim?
That's it.
You're going to get thrown in the fire. What do you do?
Let me ask you this, Bo.
It's not fair. I don't like it, but that's what's going to happen in that situation.
Going off that exact same thought process, we got a Behind the Glass coming out later today where we actually discussed part of this earlier this morning.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm curious if you guys agree. After week 6, if the Browns make any kind of quarterback change, in my opinion, it has to be towards one of the rookies to get a sense if you're going to evaluate. Then you move on
from Kenny Pickett.
So I said this morning, and you guys should watch Behind the Glass, I understand the reasoning to keep Kenny Pickett on early, but to me, you got to see these rookies play later in the year.
Yeah.
So that puts Pickett in a weird situation as kind of the odd man out.
Yeah.
After week 6, and you could use week 5, I use week 6 as just an arbitrary number. Do you have any interest in seeing Kenny Pickett play after that date? Okay,
Zero.
so you guys are on Tyvis.
The only reason I would want to keep Kenny Pickett is purely to not have to rush the rookies. That's it. That's the only reason. Not because I want to see him play.
If my theory about what Kevin is doing with the 2 young guys is true, they will keep 4.
Right.
If what I'm saying is that he looked at what happened to DTR and he takes that as personal, like I messed that up, I shouldn't have threw him out there against, what was his first start? Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
DTR's first game was against Baltimore. We didn't know he was starting.
And he was terrible. He probably looked at it like, that's my fault. I shouldn't have never had him. I should have had somebody for that situation. Right. If he feels that way, they will keep Kenny Pickett to get past the rough part of the season.
The only way. And here's the thing. I know we keep looking at the schedule. One day, my dad told me we was playing St. Ignatius, and we was playing them, and we was they were great. They was winning. Coach Kyle was winning championships, and it was my first time playing at Ignatius, and we was on the way to school, and we was listening to the radio, and they're like, they were just rattling off St. Ignatius stats and how they're just number so and so in the country. My dad turns the radio off and says, "Listen, you ain't playing the Dallas Cowboys. You're not playing a bunch of bears or mountain lions. These are regular kids that go to the same class as you.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" Yeah. It changed my whole mindset. I said, you is right. So when we're looking at Shedeur Sanders and it's the Baltimore Ravens and this the NFL, Shedeur Sanders or whoever is going to be at quarterback, if you got to have that, ain't at no circumstances am I telling Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, we found out that they was them by doing what? Going through the fire. You got to go through the fire. You can't choose and pick and choose and say, let me wait this out until the 7th game. Either you got it or you don't at some point in time, because what Tyvis said is accurate. Yes, practice counts, but the only way you find out about a person is when them lights come on. You can talk about all that other stuff, but when the lights come on, it's there. It's either there or it's not. My thing is, I just keep it a buck. Sometimes we can't live in our fears, and we can't live in what somebody else didn't do. I get the DTR played bad. Well, DTR played bad in another place too. Sometimes you can play bad and you can just be bad.
Well, that's not fair. It's still preseason.
Oh, no, DTR looked terrible.
With us in the preseason, he was unbelievable.
Just get rid of Kenny Pickett and play the rookie.
Oh, listen.
If Joe gets hurt.
What I am saying is I believe both of those rookies are better than Kenny Pickett in real life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not so I was just talking about this last night. I said, when you ask about Kenny Pickett's, just all boil it down, boil the stuff away. Your record don't look good. Your statistics don't be looking good. You wasn't blowing nobody away in practice. Yet your touchdown to interception rating ain't like that. And the Philadelphia Eagles traded you for DTR, one of the worst quarterbacks in the game, in a 5th-round pick. So the thing we got to do as Cleveland Browns fans is we can't have this inferiority complex where we take anybody's leftovers because they're just better somehow. If you playing the Steelers, how you gonna play the Steelers and they already better than you, but you take their leftovers and try to refurbish?
But I don't think it's about. I don't think, at least from my perspective, I don't think most people feel this way. Like I just want Kenny Pickett here because I don't want to force the rookies to play before they're ready. If you think they got to be ready to go, then why not play them in week 1?
I would.
Oh, so you would. Okay.
Like this is if it's me, if the rookies were at the same level as Joe Flacco, I'd play them. I wouldn't care if they would. I wouldn't care if they had the experience or not.
Okay.
Not so, but obviously
If
they're
on
not
the same level, you always play the
right.
younger guy.
So my thing is, there's nothing in the thing that I always have a hard time about. Can y'all answer me this question? They told the young guys they had to earn it, right? Remember? They got to earn it. They got to come in. They got to do this. They do all this stuff.
Isn't that always the case?
But how is Kenny Pickett second on the depth chart, and what has he earned?
Well, Kenny Pickett was the only quarterback on this roster outside of Deshaun Watson before any of the other people got here. So
by default,
they probably went in there like, all right, he was first here type stuff. Like he's
But
been around.
Second on the depth chart because he's a veteran too.
But at some point, as a veteran, right, you have to show
I hear you,
why.
but depth chart doesn't matter right now. I don't think that
The
matters.
thing with Kenny Pickett, first of all, to poke a hole in your theory about the young guys being better than Kenny, I don't know that. Because the one thing with Kenny is Kenny has actually played in meaningful games and made meaningful plays in meaningful games. To where the young guys, we're judging them off of preseason against 2s and 3s. Yes, Shador had a series against the ones with Carolina. Yes, 3 and out.
Not even full games.
It was 3 and out. So that's kind of a wash when people bring that up to me. But those are 2s and 3s. You will admit, players in there are 2s and 3s for a reason.
I'll give you this, though. Watch this. If you're going to say they're playing against 2s and 3s, right, you can only play against who they give you the reps for.
I agree.
So if they come in, if the coach comes in and says, hey, we got this guy last week, we're going to play him.
So why?
And the other people,
But
so
Tyvis
the
is
reason,
right, though.
the
They
reason,
haven't played in a regular season.
The reason why this is why I kept
Yeah.
saying the joint practice was so important to me. Because I don't know, did Dylan Gabriel take reps with the ones in the joint practice? No, because he had the hamstring issue, so we missed out on it. And I know Shador didn't, because for some reason Shador don't get one rep.
All I'm saying is sometimes this happens.
Yeah.
There's a theory where you get people, and because they come to your program, you overestimate their overall value because they're right here looking at you. Nobody in the world before today thought Kenny Pickett was moving no needles, nowhere. If you would have said we playing Kenny Pickett,
That's a fact.
We got Kenny Pickett.
I still feel like that, though.
Feel that way.
So all I'm expressing is this. For me, if I want to see it, I'm gonna see it personally.
Oh, me too.
If Kenny is healthy,
play him.
he gotta play.
He need to play
Let's
Saturday.
be honest, guys.
Yes, I agree.
Let's be honest right now. None of the 4 quarterbacks the Browns have are moving needles for other teams right now.
Shador is.
Yeah.
Not in like, oh, we got to play against Shador. I'm concerned.
No.
But it'll be the most viewed game they have all year.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about, Mike. We're not talking.
No,
about
he's talking about as an opponent.
As an
if
opponent.
you knew you was
sorry,
going against
yeah.
one of these quarterbacks, which one
I
would
was
you be
thinking
like,
needle
oh.
in terms of attention.
No,
You're
of course
talking,
he
gotcha,
moves the
gotcha.
needle.
None
of these guys, like no team is like, oh my god, we got to face any of these quarterbacks. Like nobody's concerned.
Yeah,
not right now. Doesn't mean Shador or Dylan Gabriel in the
I mean,
future
if
can't be.
you
but
go
not
over
right
that,
now.
Joe Flacco would be the closest one
Right.
to give you something.
But still,
but to me also the bigger picture is here. There is no need when you build a roster, right? You build a roster based on slotting different positions, and you want to spread the wealth. If you got a roster and you understand that I want a veteran, I need a veteran presence. You already have that. You've named him the starter.
yeah. So you just cut Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett is redundant.
If the Browns believe that either Shador or Dylan Gabriel or both are ready to play if Joe Flacco gets hurt, then I agree, then I would cut Kenny Pickett. If they believe neither is ready to play a regular season game, then I would stick with Kenny Pickett as the backup. That to me. I mean, and it has nothing to do with how good I think Kenny Pickett is, even though I think he stinks. And personally, I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be another Kenny Pickett. He's going to be a
long-term back,
somewhere between the 30th and 40th best quarterback in the league. You don't want him to start. He might start here.
Spot starter.
That's not what I want. I think Shedeur has the upside. I don't know how good Shedeur is going to be. I'm not convinced he's going to be great. I'm not convinced he's not going to be great. But I want to see it somewhere down the line because I think he's the only one. But, forget Flacco, he's old. Of the other three, I think Shedeur's got the most upside. I want to see him at some point, but not yet.
I just feel my only issue with the Kenny Pickett making the team is the NFL coined the phrase "you can't make the club in the tub."
Right?
How are you telling me this man is gonna make the team and he ain't did nothing? Like it just don't sit right. It just don't sit well with me.
Is he supposed to practice?
So I can go get hurt and then still make the team like that? Where they do that at?
In that case, you'd have had 18 contracts.
Well, if you're good, he's not good.
That's what I'm saying. If he was if this was Patrick Mahomes or something,
Matt
I'd
Stafford
understand.
hasn't practiced yet. Matt Stafford's going to
That's
make that.
Matt Stafford.
Kenny Pickett does not have that status.
No, but again, the only reason I would keep him is if I don't want to put the rookies in if Flacco gets hurt. To me, that's the only reason to keep Kenny
This
Pickett.
week going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
I need to hear something.
I don't think he's going to play this week.
Stefanski is talking later today.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will get some information on how healthy these guys are and at least can we expect to see them in the
Good
preseason
luck with
game.
that.
I know it's a lot to ask for. Just a little bit of truth and clarity from the head ball coach, but we will do our best. All right, guys, let's get to our next topic here. It's brought to us by GameTime. We've all been there before, logging on early and waiting forever for tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot that you've been waiting in line for. Live music, live sports, live comedy should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. That's where GameTime comes in. GameTime makes getting tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with killer last-minute deals. Take the guesswork out of buying all your tickets, concerts, sports, whatever. With GameTime, download the GameTime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download the GameTime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
I got an example.
Shoot.
When I was in Toronto, before my trip to Toronto, we had bought tickets for the Wednesday night game, which we went to. Thursday morning, my son says, "Dad, can we go to the game today too?" And I said, "All right, let's consider it. Let's see what the ticket prices are." So I did, honestly, and I'll be truthful. On Wednesday, I did not use the GameTime app. I just bought off the team website. But on Thursday, I went to the GameTime app, and I looked for what tickets they had available. And the places I wanted to sit, the tickets were I think they were $180. And I said, let's see what happens as it gets closer to the game. The game was at 3 o'clock. So at 10 in the morning, the tickets I wanted to get were $180. By 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they were down to $130. That was $50.
Dang.
And we were getting 3 tickets.
$150.
And I said to my son, let's wait 10 more minutes.
There you go. There you go gambling again.
And they went down. So how about this? They went down to $120. I was saving $60 a ticket. I'm going to buy these. Somebody beat me to it by a minute. Right?
And now.
So I went back on again. I found other tickets that had been even higher. They had started at $200. They went down to $130, and I'm all right, let's jump on it.
Was they same quality?
They were actually better.
Oh, wow.
But I hadn't looked at them originally because they had been even more expensive.
Wow.
But they went all the way down to $130. I saved $210 by waiting, using the GameTime app, and we sat behind 12th row behind home plate, and I spent essentially 40% less. Roughly, that's a huge difference.
I want courtside seats with GameTime app.
Let's go.
It
is cool. You see the prices dropping as it goes, and you're how long should I wait? How long should I wait?
We like all our sponsors. Some have more practical use for us than others.
It was
GameTime
huge.
Genuinely works, and when they say prices go down, the closer it gets to tip off first pitch.
It's true. I'm telling you,
it
it's
really
100%
does work,
accurate.
and that is a great.
So could you go to the stadium, right? Could you just go to the game?
Yeah.
Have the app out and be going down.
Yeah.
Buy now. Hey, I'm here to get those tickets.
We were right there. We were at the stadium. Not right at the stadium, but close by.
That's fine.
We were close by.
It takes probably 20 minutes G, for you to get your tickets.
Yeah.
They take it from someone else, but
it was like 10 minutes, maybe.
So maybe not at the door,
but sometimes it might take a little longer.
Right.
We were close by. We were like in the vicinity, and it was great. So great use, and it obviously cost nothing to download. So
yeah,
and
check
it was
out
very
GameTime.
efficient, very easy to use. So I give it a double thumbs up. All right.
Has the official stamp of approval from Adam the Bull. All right, guys. So before I sent out this topic, I made my own graphics of who I thought would be locks in the Browns wide receiver room.
Yeah.
This morning, and I wish I had talked to Zach Jackson prior to doing that, Zach Jackson put out his projected 53-man roster locks, who's on the bubble, who's not.
Okay.
Coincidentally, Zach Jackson and I both agree that there are currently 4 locks in the wide receiver room for the Cleveland Browns. Those 4 locks right now, according to both me and Zach Jackson, are Jerry Jeudy.
Did you co-sign that?
Cedric Tillman. Well, I would have put his name on the graphic, not per McNuggets. It would have been McNuggets/Zach Jackson. But he agreed that these 4 are all locks. Jeudy, Tillman, Thrash, and Bond. Now, in his article on The Athletic, and I recommend you guys go read it, he breaks down all 90 players and who he thinks is on the right side of the bubble and the wrong side of the bubble. He had these next players on the bubble, which, because if these are locks, that means everyone else is on the bubble. These are the guys that I thought were on the bubble, fighting for those 2 final receiver spots. The Browns have historically kept 6 receivers in the Andrew Berry regime. Deontay Johnson, DeAndre Carter, Gage Larvadin, who I pronounce his name wrong every time, and I apologize.
I thought it was
Caden
Laverdang.
Davis, and then Luke Floria, who we had to mention, he's on IR. He will not be part of the initial 53-man roster.
It's
so you
Gage
can kind of take
So
him
why
out
is he even on the list?
because it had 5 bullet points, and I needed to put a 5th person on there.
Okay.
So
To me, Deontay Johnson's gone. I don't know. He was part of the reason for that Dylan Gabriel interception.
it's worth mentioning on Deontay, so I want to go around with each of these. Zach has Deontay Johnson on the wrong side of the bubble as of today.
Isn't Carter a return guy?
Yeah.
He is. He's 32 years old, which is another thing
Shout
I
out
wanted
my
to
boy
ask.
DC. Still doing
Is it
his
worth,
thing.
on such a young team, keeping a 32-year-old returner who has very minimal actual receiving experience?
I mean,
What's it?
You
You
know,
know
5th and 6th receivers. How often are they playing on offense?
You know what makes
Never.
him? You know what makes this interesting?
Yeah,
Isn't Isaiah Bond a returner?
I don't know. You would know better than me.
I feel like
Well, he go-
I feel
I
like
would look it up,
I feel
but
like
I
he
don't
may have
think-
returned.
He the fastest dude on the team. He returning. It's Madden. He returning punts, kicks, reverses.
If he
slot
if
fades.
he indeed took some like returns,
Yeah.
I'm worried.
Is Bond going to be ready to play? Like, he just signed. He's been out of the mix.
He's a returner.
I mean, for returns, all right.
Isaiah Bond has 2 career punt returns in his career and no career kick returns in his collegiate career.
Let me ask you
Then
this.
Carter should still be here.
Let me ask
My
you
boy
this.
DC should make it.
mean-
Because that's messed up. If you can't cut DC, if you ain't let him play these first two games, and then now you gonna cut him. Like
Yeah, he's
that's,
going to be.
That's kind of messed up.
You'd like to have a veteran return guy.
Yeah,
I think.
like that'd be
you know.
kind of messed up in my personal opinion, and that's bad business by the Browns. Like if you was gonna cut him or you
let
wasn't
him
gonna keep
play
him, you
and
should have
then-
let him play these first couple of
and
games.
you gave him that fly number 2.
Well, there was a story behind. Did I tell y'all? I talked to him when I went to the Browns.
No.
So him and I talked because like me and him played together at the 49ers. And I brought it up. I was like, they mad at you over this jersey number. He said, bro, what they got to realize, what people don't know is I was here first. So, like, when I first got here, I picked my number. This is before the draft.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I had number 2. He said when we drafted Shador, I walked to Shador and asked him, hey, we this the NFL. We do certain things a certain way.
Yeah.
What you want? What you gonna give me for this 2?
Yeah.
He said he didn't want it. He said I just rock 12. So
Yeah.
he said, all right, well I'm gonna keep 2.
Yeah, he told her, listen, we weren't mad at him like that. We weren't mad
So
at him.
everybody
Yeah.
get off my boy DC,
He
bro.
wasn't mad at him. That's how it worked.
Yeah.
Hey, Shador said, hey, listen, I'm a 5th round pick. I ain't got the bag like that.
He would have probably been happy to take the bag for giving up the
Oh,
2.
listen, I'll give up. Listen, anybody want the last name G. Bush? I'll give you. Let's make a deal.
Let's go. Mike, put up that list again.
Of the potential guys,
Yeah.
Steve, 320 when you get a chance.
So I'm with Tyvis. I think Carter's on the team because your 5th to 6th receiver, one of them is usually a return guy. Mm-hmm. And then I'd go with one of the 2 young guys, and I'd move on from Deontay.
See, this is hard. I like Gage and I like Deontay. Gage is a guy that, for some odd reason, all backup quarterbacks love targeting him. He's been really good. He's a rookie from South Carolina, right?
Davis
had that 2 touchdowns, and he like a burner.
And he kind of fast.
Yeah.
Sneaky fast.
But see, one of them going on practice squad.
I think they're gonna try to bring Floria back. They might.
Floria on IR.
He's hurt.
Yes.
So
you can't put guys on IR yet, can you?
No, Floria got waived with a
injury designation.
Yeah, so
then you get hit with that one time.
All right, so let me explain. Let me explain what that means. So in the NFL, if you get hurt like in a game or you get hurt with a team, they can cut you, but they can't like physically be done with you. See, in the NFL, a team can only move on from you until you're healthy enough to play in a game. So he will be on IR until he's physically able to play football. So he still
gets paid.
So like if for me, I got hurt in my last preseason game against Dallas. I pulled my hamstring.
Yeah.
I rehabbed there for a week, and I got a game check. Yeah. Like once the season started, I got a game check for that.
So if they were going to cut you, it actually helped.
Oh, if you in the last preseason game, tear everything. If you ain't gonna make it, tear something.
So they got to keep paying you?
Yeah. You get paid game checks until you healthy.
Yeah.
That's why, don't stretch. Go out there and try to pull something. It was the greatest. That's how I ended up getting my pension because
that puts you over the top.
Yeah, with Dallas, so the pension works. You got to do 3 years and you got to get 3 games in the 4th year to get to 4. So after 3 years, I was with Dallas. I got hurt in the last preseason game. I got cut, but I had to stay on IR. So they said, you know what, we're gonna sign. We'll do a deal with you. They said we'll give you 4 games. We'll give you 4 games.
So you got a pension?
Oh, that's what I'm telling you. So
you got it because you got those 4 games.
So they was like, we'll settle with you. And we'll give you 4 games. I said, so pension, wait, so does these 4 games count towards the pension? They said, yes, it does.
Oh, listen. Hey,
look.
Hey, shout out.
I like this. Come on. Get me back to the crib. I do it at the crib.
Shout out to Tyvis's wife, man. She about to get that crazy wedding now. I didn't even know that. I didn't that pension, I know he got the pension like that. Yeah. I was feeling sorry for Tyvis. I said, man, he was close.
So Florio, although you might be sad for him and all these things, like he's still getting. If his injury is that bad and it lingers into the season, he will get some game checks.
Does anybody think they should keep he said he thinks Deontay's gone?
Yeah. So Zach, in his analysis, had DeAndre Carter on the right side of the bubble.
Yeah.
He had the 2 rookies, Gage, Lavardian, and Caden Davis on the bubble, and he had Deontay Johnson on the wrong side of the bubble.
Right. So, in other words, DeAndre Carter's going to make it, and then the last spot's going to go to either of. Although it's possible, by the way, especially if the Browns end up keeping 4 quarterbacks, maybe they only keep 5 receivers.
Yeah.
Because you could probably get both those guys onto the practice squad.
Probably. So you could. That's why I said you could keep Johnson if you want to do it. If you want to roll that route,
right? But they could just keep Carter as their 5th receiver, let Johnson go, and put both those rookies on the practice squad.
Let's talk about Johnson for a second.
Yeah.
Because I think earlier in camp we all assumed he was a lock.
I did.
And it was only if it was like he did something kind of stupid off the field. That had been his track record. Exactly.
The things he's gotten in trouble for.
But it feels like from all the reports from camp the last 2 weeks, based on what we saw, he played against Philly. He was, like you said, involved in the interception that Dylan Gabriel threw. We think ran the wrong route. Or
he ran it too shallow.
Yeah. Are you surprised that even in this wide receiver room that isn't loaded with high big name talent, that he hasn't been able to separate himself as a guy that must be on this team come week 1?
No. How could you be surprised, right?
He's had trouble at other spots.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about receivers. Like, sometimes I think what happened is when he had a year with Big Ben. I think it was either his last year or the next to last year, where Deontay Johnson was low key like the number 1 receiver.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler.
And he was getting spoon fed. And so when you get spoon-fed these catches, you start to be like, it's like you could tell a difference between Jerry Jeudy when he came here and Jerry Jeudy now, right? Mm-hmm. You make the Pro Bowl, you're a receiver. You on a whole nother, you getting in all the restaurants now. It's different. You be like, yeah, I'm him. And I feel like he kind of got bamboozled a little bit because he didn't know he just had a good connection with Big Ben. And when he was done, his production went to you know where.
Yeah.
So then it was like, oh, well, y'all going to have to put up with the stuff I do. And they're like, no, you're not really fast. You're not really that, you're not a burner. You better go ahead and get in where you fit in. And I think that kind of messed him up a little bit because he started doing stuff. I'm like, come on, bro, you know you can't do that. You're not him. You're not Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or somebody or Justin Jefferson. So I think that kind of got to him a little bit, but he ain't really showed me nothing, and he should have known what type of time it was when old boy came, Isaiah Bond. Like when they gave him guaranteed bread and they got him for free. See, the Browns, they do this. People, we talk about it a little bit. The reason they go get these dudes is because they be like, listen, you know we be missing on people anyway. So we be missing. So these is free picks.
They sign every player that has trouble.
There's free picks.
I don't love
it's
it,
free.
but it is free.
Like, because you'd be like,
I don't know why they guaranteed him. I mean, I guess it's not a lot of money, so I guess
they like, oh,
It's $1 million per year.
That's an extra pick we didn't even have. They got Josh Gordon that way. They got Kareem Hunt for free. They get everybody for free. So they like, when they got him, and Jamari Thrash, by the way, been balling too. Look, Jamari Thrash act like he want to be on the roster. When that happened,
yeah.
And you know how Andrew Berry loves his guys that show anything that he drafted. Deontay Johnson was immediately expendable.
Who's going to play?
That's
Judy and Tillman are going to play.
See, that's what I was going to say.
Is Jamari Thrash the third receiver? Like, Bond just got here. I don't know if he's playing much on offense.
Thrash is 1,000% the third receiver right now.
Yeah,
What's that?
So you
Thrash
telling
is
me
1,000% the third
So
receiver.
you
we don't
telling
even know if he
me
can
when they play the Rams this Saturday, the starting lineup was going to, because it's a dress rehearsal. They treat this like if this was week one. That's why I was going to say, whoever was in at the slot is going to tell everything.
Yeah.
If James Thrash is in there, Jamari Thrash.
Yeah.
James Thrash is a great wide receiver from Philadelphia back in the day.
Shout out to a vet.
If Jamari Thrash is in at the slot, yeah, Johnson's gone.
Yeah.
That's it. So we'll have the answer on him literally Saturday.
And that's like, I mean, if Cedric Tillman and Jamari Thrash are your second and third receivers, that's a lot of hope right there.
And then when you talk about the two young guys, when you talk about those two young guys, if you want to know which one potentially can make it, pay attention to the gunners on punt. First team, punt team. See who if one of them at gunner, they make it this roster. Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Let's get to our next topic. Before we do that, a reminder that just like we did for the first preseason game and just like we did for the second preseason game, we will have a preseason post-game show.
Yes.
G-Bush, myself, and Earl coming at you. These ones, starting time is not always at the 2-minute warning. We'll determine when we're going to start. It'll probably be at the end of the game this time if all four quarterbacks end up playing. So stay tuned for that, but we will have another post-game show. Our first two preseason post-game shows, by the way, guys, are two highest-speed post-game shows in the history of UCSS. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate y'all watching. And we will continue to do these throughout the year. All right, Tyvis, I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but you were not on the show, so I had to wait for you to get here.
By the way, before you get into that, Daniel Jones has been named the starting quarterback for the Colts.
He is.
I want to know why is the Browns letting Bond talk today? They having Joe Flacco, Isaiah Bond, and Denzel Ward speak today.
I guess.
Get it out the way.
New guy, get it out the way, and it's what it is.
Go ahead.
All right, so Tyvis, I did want to talk about this yesterday, coming off Saturday's preseason game against Philadelphia. You had tweeted about it, and this is a guy that we are going to talk about who you had called out, not in a bad way, but just said he's kind of the key to the secondary, and that is Cam Mitchell, who is filling in the slot as Greg Newsome's moved out to the outside to replace MJ Emerson. Cam Mitchell has slid into the slot, and through at least two preseason games, you have not felt great about what you've seen. So
That's
will
an
you
understatement.
maybe explain to us your concerns about that spot and whether or not it can be fixed prior to the start of the season?
Yeah, so I mean, when I wouldn't call it a rant, but when we talked about it last week, when you asked me why he was the guy that I picked as the person that I felt needed to step it up, it's because, again, like I said, you got Denzel, you got G. New. He's the only guy that hasn't been a consistent starter. Yes, he started some games for the Browns. He did well in those games. But now you're coming out in week one and you're going up against Cincinnati, which is, to me, when you look at it from that standpoint, like they're going to target you. And my issue with it is, and I need to apologize to him because I misspoke on one of the things. I said that he gave up a slot fade in the Carolina game. That was wrong. That was actually Miles Harden that gave up the slot fade. He gave up a touchdown, which is even worse. Then this past game, he gave up another touchdown. That's terrible. Like, you can't put that type of stuff on film. So, when you look at this past game against Philly, this touchdown he gave up, one or two things is true. And I can't confirm or deny which one it is. One, first scenario, they were in cover 0, and he didn't get the right call. He didn't know they was in 0. He just thought they was in man, and he believed he had an inside piece. So he said, if I got an inside piece and I know we in man, he probably didn't think it was 0. He probably thought it was like cover 1 or something. So he said, I'm going to stay on the outside because if he runs something inside, a linebacker or a safety will be right there. So that's the way he looked like he played it.
Yeah.
He completely just busted the whole play, and because everybody else looked like they was in 0 when you go back and watch it. I immediately
said, at Tyvis 1.
Everybody kind of looked like they was in 0. When you in cover 0 on the red zone, like, that's inside leverage because that's the quick and easy throw. The ball should come out fast. That means the quarterback gonna go boom, look, throw it. It's the quick, easy throw. If he gotta hold it, that's what you want because now the pressure's getting there. So I immediately thought that they were in 0 and he just took the wrong leverage and gave up the touchdown. Whatever the case is, he need to get it fixed because you can't give up touchdowns. You keep giving up touchdowns. I'm gonna tell you right now, we got a seat that's sitting right over there. You can slide right up here. You can come be on this show Monday through Friday from 11 to 1. Because I'm telling you right now, you don't last long in the league from giving up touchdowns. So that's why, to me, it was my concern. I'm interested to see what happens in this game against the Rams. Maybe he got better communications with the ones. Maybe he got better chemistry with the ones. If it happened again, they got to go find somebody. Like, you can't go in the season.
And who was the quarterback that threw that touchdown?
Your boy.
Who? Kyle McCord?
Yeah.
Was it Kyle McCord that threw the touchdown?
Yeah, rookie. Now, here's the thing, Tyvis.
Who was the wide receiver? Is it anybody we've heard of?
Nobody. No name gangster OG1. Listen, this is wild. Every time they blow coverages, I'm acting like Tyvis is the defensive back coach. Coach, what's going on here?
Somebody, either he busted or somebody else busted.
I said
I don't know if it was him or the safety. But somebody busted up.
I'm just a little old defensive lineman, and I don't know much. We down on the goal line, and I'm looking around. I said, whoa, since when we start giving up inside leverage on the goal line? And it wasn't even no hands on him. It was clean, and he televised. He told you what he was going. He ran the slowest lane in the world. He was like, plant.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no
touchdown. What?
He must have didn't get the call. he didn't get the right call. Like,
if you're the Browns, I don't know. The Bengals, don't have a great head coach. But if I were the Bengals, if I was running their offense, knowing that the only cornerback in the league that has done well against Jamar Chase is Denzel Ward, Jamar Chase has been asked, who's the best corner you faced? And every time he says Denzel Ward. If I'm the Bengals, I'm putting Jamar Chase in the slot.
But see, that's the thing.
If you're the Browns, you got to have Denzel follow him, don't you? And I don't think they will.
They won't.
Yeah.
No.
And they're going to get torched.
They should. And
McNuggets, get ready
see
for this.
What will happen? Okay,
week one. Get this question ready because this is a key to the game right here. Right already.
If I'm Joe Burrow and I see anybody but Denzel Ward on Jamar Chase, I'm going to him every time.
So the thing is this: if Cam Mitchell is a start nickel and they are not electing for Denzel to follow him in the slot, you best believe that there will be some type of help from somewhere. They're not leaving Cam Mitchell one-on-one with him. That's suicide.
What you mean help?
They'll have a safety rob down on the inside piece. They have a linebacker play the hole, like something.
You are aware.
There's no way.
You are aware secondary adjustments during the game aren't our thing.
I'm just saying.
We tend to look around.
Listen,
like I didn't know he was supposed to be here.
I'm just saying. There's no way that you going out there and you playing man to man with just him playing man on Jamar Chase in the slot. That's
at once upon
that's a tough ass. That's a tough ass.
At once upon a time,
they better if that's the case, then if they're gonna play true man to man, then Denzel will have to come down and play in the slot. Cam Mitchell going to have to go on the outside and play corner.
I am old enough to remember that the Cleveland Browns once told us, we didn't expect.
When he got hurt, we didn't know how to adjust.
We didn't know
we didn't expect him not to play.
Right, remember, with Higgins.
Was it T or was it
Jamar? Might
Jamar?
have missed the game.
Jamar Chase did play,
and T. Higgins got hurt, and the Browns were like, yeah, we expected.
We were waiting for Jamar Chase, so we got torched by no name.
That was the old, they gone. Them coaches is gone.
By the way, when you look at the Bengals on paper, I don't know I've ever seen a gap between quality of offense and quality of defense. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger gap.
Oh yeah, their defense is trash.
Who the heck?
It's third. It's Bill.
It's this
running back.
No, this receiver that was punching on people last night.
I can't think of his name.
The dude that caught the touchdown?
He caught 5 of them.
I forgot his name. He's a kid battling for the roster. I don't know if he's going to make
I think he got cut by the Commanders. He caught a crazy back shoulder fade.
Yeah.
Then he just went smooth Randy Moss, went over top of a dude's head like this.
Michael Tinsley?
Yes, Tinsley.
Tinsley, right, that's it.
I said, where did they get him?
Well, he's at best going to be their 5th receiver. At best.
You looking at the Browns like,
5th receiver. We got. Listen, man, this is nasty work. This is crazy. And I was thinking, this is the thing we're getting. And I got to temper expectations. I got to let y'all know. The problem that I have is I'm watching these other teams, and they're playing guys. They're playing guys a lot. I seen Joe Burrow running around backwards like he was trying to really do his.
He took a sack. I'm like, what is he doing?
I'm like, you out here playing hard
I
right
like
now.
that he's playing, though. He's played in both games. I like that. He had never played in the preseason before this year.
And so I know Kev said he wanted to. This ain't on the rundown, but I need to see what the reps looking like. Like Joe about to go out there against the Rams.
Yeah.
How many series he gonna play?
I'd play him the whole first half.
If this is the dress rehearsal, we got to see it.
He hasn't played it all. I know he's a veteran, but still.
By the way, are you guys a little scared by this? We've been watching 2 games, and I know they want to be vanilla. But can you just ratchet up and go from 5 wide to we're running the ball in play action? Because I haven't seen the running game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've seen no 12 personnel. I ain't seen
you talking about the Browns?
Yeah.
They're not showing you that.
Tyvis is run.
They not showing you nothing.
You know what? Urban Meyer and Zeke Elliott, he ain't worried about showing you nothing. You gonna get this Zeke and you gonna like it.
Hold on. Before I move forward, I got to go back to this secondary stuff because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the play again. Because I'm trying to come up with something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with an excuse. I just don't want to believe that this man just bust the coverage like this. But that's exactly what it looks like. Because, the way that everybody else is playing, let me move off of him. As I'm looking at this play, I need to talk about this right now because I see where this is going. And I'm not about to sit up here and rant and rave over this and have this type of season. I understand that was the twos that was in, okay? And the ones might be a lot better. But if you go back and you watch this play, right, this touchdown, this slant, forget Cam Mitchell. Let's focus our attention to the other side, okay? The bunch set with the running back pivoted out. Okay. They are in 0. I'm going to tell you, I just confirmed. They are in 0. Cam Mitchell completely didn't get the call or he just messed it up. They gotta do better with their communication in the secondary. I've been saying this show been on for 3 years.
3 years.
They got to do better. The reason being is because if you get a stack, right? All right, you get a stack. So you get a wide receiver, you get another wide receiver, and then you get the running back offset to their side. You got to know, y'all got to talk. You got to have a plan. At this point in that formation, that whoever's the inside guy and whoever's that outside guy, y'all need to have this communication of if your dude come in, I'm going to take him. Yeah. And if the running back come out, you take him.
Now, is this established by them or the coaching staff as a real check?
So in practice, you go over different checks. There's so many different ways. You can, if it's a stack, you can lock the stack where, all right, I'm gonna take my guy, you take your guy. It could be a halo rule where I'm gonna let the first guy go, I'm gonna take the guy in the back. Or it could be, but if it's a bunch, which this was, like if you consider the running back out to that side, this is a bunch. Now you got three people you could talk to. You can lock the point man. So the dude press the point, two guys in and out the other two. Or you can try to play it man to man. There's so many different ways. But in this certain scenario, they decided to play it all man to man. The problem with that is they ran this pick route. So they had the dude, the point, go in. They had the other guy go in, and the running back went out. Why that's a problem is if you lock that, your safety is trying to fight through traffic, and that running back gonna be wide open every time. So you need to have that conversation of, hey, that running back is off to your side. We need to in and out this. If that receiver come in, you stay out there, take the running back out there. What's gonna happen after you do that check? Well, they're gonna run it the first time. First time they run it, you're going to cover it perfectly. The next time they run it, what's going to happen is that running back is going to go out and he's going to pivot back in. So now that corner got to be able to drive that. But that's the best way to play it. They went and played it man-to-man. If they would have just threw that ball to the flats, that running back was gone. Running back is gone. So they need to fix that. The communication,
Who do you blame?
I'm not
Who's
about
to blame?
to have it. It starts with the coach.
Yeah.
You gotta work those things in practice. Like, especially if you're going up against a team that runs stacks and bunches, you always come out there and say, hey guys, how do y'all want to play stacks and bunches this week?
But the first year we did this show, they had a different DC, and that problem is still there with the new DC.
Yeah, the Browns for some reason gonna give you about 3 coverage busts a year. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
And every time, remember last year, the first game of
the
the season, we was talking about it with the Dallas Cowboys.
No, it was Carolina.
Well, it was Carolina.
Where they ran, the dude was running wide open. They hit Robbie Anderson on the post.
It was Carolina, then it was New York against Joe Flacco the very next week.
That was 2 years ago.
But then,
it was 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years
but
ago.
then against Dallas, we was asking what was Juan Thornhill doing in that corner where he was wide open. Against Dallas.
Had a bus in that game?
Yeah,
and then against the Chargers, I know for a fact they had a bus. They had 2 of them in that game, and I was just like, y'all tripping.
All right.
Martin Emerson, I'm going to tell you really quickly, how much they going to miss Martin Emerson? We ain't really talked about it like that. How much they going to miss
it's
him?
weird because he's coming off a bad year, but he's still better than Mitchell.
They got to go get a veteran, bro. I will be shocked if when they make these cuts, if they don't claim or sign a DB, a veteran DB. Like I love and respect everybody that's on the Browns in that secondary, but I'm telling you right now, there's no way that you could look at that secondary and tell me like, yeah, we good to go. Like no, they haven't given me that vibe.
Yeah.
So they gotta go get somebody.
All right, let's leave it there for now. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, we're going to spend 5 minutes on this next topic before we pivot over to some baseball. We're sticking with football, and a reminder that August 26th officially is FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions, preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling for an MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before Week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Day is a one day only kind of thing. FanDuel, play your game when you want on America's #1 sportsbook. Guys, there have been reports out of Washington that Brian Robinson Jr., their former third-round pick, played at Alabama, is currently unhappy with his status. They have a rookie who's taking a lot of carries. They have Austin Eckler who's taking some carries. His carries went down last year, and he did not play in last night's preseason game as the team explores potential trades. The Browns still haven't signed Quinshon Judkins. We don't know when they will sign Quinshon Judkins. We don't know what his potential punishment from the NFL will be, which leaves them really with Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson in the backfield. So the price tag on someone like Brian Robinson would be quite low. I can't imagine more than a 6th, maybe even a 7th-round pick. So for the time being, Bull, would you be interested in the Browns calling the Washington Commanders and potentially making a low-risk, low-investment move for Brian Robinson?
Did somebody say Bull looked like somebody called him out his name?
No. I want to see Dylan Sampson play, and hopefully at some point this year see Judkins play. I'm not interested. Brian Robinson he's he's just a guy. I mean, I just don't think he's anything special.
He's the fantasy football guy you pick up at the waiver wire.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a fact.
The best available left.
Honestly,
That's a
sleeper.
fact.
honestly, I don't know that he's any better than Jerome Ford. I think he's a similar level back.
Just a little bigger.
Yeah, a little bigger. I mean, I would just, if you want to sign a veteran, go get Jamal Williams and let him be your fourth down and goal line.
What's
back
wrong
if
with
you want,
what's his
but-
name? Amani Marshall?
Yeah, take one of the young guys. I want to see the young guys play. What's the point of bringing in Brian Robinson? He's not going to be here long term. If he's not happy there, why is he going to be happy here? I want to see Dylan Sampson play.
Isn't Brian Robinson the guy that got shot
Yes.
Yeah.
and he came back?
Wasn't he a wide receiver in college?
Was he? No,
No, he was a running back at Bama.
Confusing him with somebody else.
I mean, if they're not going to run with Quinshon Judkins, what is he on his last year of his deal?
Robinson, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to pay him, so
what's the point?
yeah.
I know it's a late round pick. What's the point of giving up anything for him?
Just roll with
When I can sign
roll with
Jamal
Marshall.
Williams off the street.
Go ahead and roll. Listen,
Roll with Marshall.
this is one of the,
Give him a shot. Yeah.
this is why we be talking about this all the time.
Yeah.
At some point in time, you're gonna have to develop your own stuff in.
That's right.
Like if you're a restaurant and you're moving around, sometimes, man, you develop your own sauce, man. Get your own vegetables. You got a farm. You got a table to farm or something. Farm to table. Develop your own proprietary stuff, and then it's cheaper in the long run because you can produce it at a much easier rate than going out trying to outsource this stuff. So, we talked about it kind of yesterday. Like, they asked about your boy Trey Henderson, and I said, I mean, you're gonna have to pay him, and then they want a first round pick.
Yeah.
Then you got to give him the contract. Then they want a young player too.
Right.
I said, well, if you think you got something, Alex McGuire, not to say that he's of that caliber. I said Trey Henderson is a monster. Don't get it twisted. But sometimes you can't just outsource everything.
That's right.
It's too expensive.
And you can't pay two defensive backs $70 million
a
between
piece.
them.
And it's just like the Browns have to get to a point where it's like, hey, you drafted Dylan Sampson, he's gonna have to play.
Let's go. Let's see him play.
Yeah.
I want to see him play.
He's gonna have to play. These
Yeah.
guys got to play. These guys got to play, man.
All
All
right.
right, we're all in agreement. That was easy. All right, guys, quick reminder, follow us on social media. We got our Twitter account. We have our Instagram account. We have our TikTok account. We've posted some reels recently on Instagram that have gone over 1 million views.
Wow.
Which has been pretty cool. We have multiple now Instagram reels with over 1 million views, both Shedeur Sanders related. Not shocking.
Not a
Our
shocker.
most popular TikTok clips also Shedeur Sanders related. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in and getting that extra UCSS content elsewhere when we're not on from 11
If you
a.m.
just
to
did a
1 p.m.
TikTok where it was just you saying Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders,
Probably do a lot
that would
of
probably
views.
get 1 million views.
Maybe not 1 million, but it would
You
certainly
seen what I
do some
said
views.
when I text y'all on Saturday?
What was that? I forgot.
Who I compared Shedeur to?
Oh yeah, don't get me. Don't do that.
He said I could say
Yeah,
so
let's
much,
leave
but
it there.
I won't.
Let's leave it there.
No,
Go ahead.
we'll leave that in the group chat.
Yeah.
But we do have to discuss something that happened on ESPN 2 nights ago, and that was Rob Manfred was talking while there was a broadcast going on. He was being interviewed during the Mets-Mariners game and was asked about expansion and possible realignment of divisions. I think his answer was pretty interesting, and then Jim Bowden put out a hypothetical list of what these geographical divisions would look like, and I think it'll be fun to discuss. So this is MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred talking about possible expansion of Major League Baseball and some potential.
Before I get to that, Mike, let me just say real quick that I love that they have this Little League game every year now. They need to do a better job of promoting it. Same thing. I didn't even know about that game at the NASCAR stadium.
I
I
actually
had
watched
no clue
that.
until that day.
I actually watched
Yeah.
that game with the Braves.
Yeah,
Like, I
it
was
was
like,
cool.
I was like, this is cool. Dude,
they
hit
didn't
2
promote
runs.
it at all. And they played in Iowa at that field.
Field of Dreams.
They need to do a better job.
They
of promoting
did that
this.
already?
Not this year. They
Oh,
didn't
I
do
was
it, but
about
they've
to
done
say.
it
Yeah.
in the past.
So based off
yeah.
what Manfred said,
Yeah.
Jim Bowden, which we're now it's in my head.
Bowden.
Bowden
Bowden.
put out his version of what he thinks the geographical realignments could be if
Yeah.
Major League Baseball goes that way. And I want to just show you what the Guardians proposed division would look like if they went with this proposal. There's been a bunch that have been online. Everyone has their own tweaks, but in this hypothetical world, the North Division would include the Cincinnati Reds, the Cleveland Guardians, the Detroit Tigers, and the Toronto Blue Jays. I could run through all the proposed divisions if you want to see them, both.
I've seen them.
But your take on this, if this were to be a new division.
That's a tough.
That's a tougher division than they're in now. You're taking out the White Sox, who have been bad for a lot of the last 20 years. And you're taking out the Twins, who are usually competitive. And
that's it.
You're taking out
Kansas City.
And you're taking out the Royals.
It'd be a 5-team division down to a 4-team division.
You're adding a Blue Jays team that is usually competitive. This year they're better than that. And a Reds team that's usually I think the Reds and Twins are kind of equivalent. The Blue Jays are a lot better than the Royals overall, even though the Royals have won a World Series and the Blue Jays haven't. But overall, the Blue Jays have been a better franchise in recent years. And you take out a bad White Sox team. It's a challenging division. But, geographically, obviously, it makes a lot of sense. The weird thing with the one that Jim Bowden did is he did not have the Cubs and Cardinals in the same division, which that's strange because that's one of the oldest rivalries in all of baseball. The Guardians don't really have a rival. They really don't.
The Yankees.
But for anyone else who hasn't seen them all, let's just run through the divisions real quick just so everyone's on the same
playing. It would be 8 14 divisions like football.
Exactly. So, Steve, we could take 4-17 here. You guys saw the North already.
Yeah.
His proposed East Division would be the Red Sox, Yankees,
Mets,
and Phillies.
Woo! I love that.
That's a gauntlet.
That's a great division, great rivalries. And those teams are all going to have to spend, obviously.
That's good ball.
Yeah.
The Southeast is the next division. This would be the Braves, the Marlins, the Rays, and an expansion team in Nashville.
I'm sure the Braves would be pretty happy about
the Braves are probably right.
The Marlins always stink. The Rays are good, but they don't spend money. And then, who knows with a new team in Nashville.
The Mid-Atlantic is the next one. That would be the Orioles, the Pirates, the Nationals, and another expansion team.
That's a bad division right there.
I mean, you look at
but that's right now. Things change,
It is funny seeing this versus the East and just the
right.
Yeah. Next would be the Midwest, and this is where he has the 2 Chicago teams, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Brewers, and the Twins.
Right. The problem is you got to have the Cardinals with the Cubs.
I agree.
There's no way they're splitting those two. But then what do you do with Kansas City? You really kind of need and you can't get rid of Milwaukee, so it makes it tricky. I don't know what they would do, but
the next is the Southwest, which is where the Cardinals fall in, and I don't really think of St. Louis as the Southwest, but the Astros, Royals, the Cardinals, and the Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good division. The Cardinals aren't good this year, but they're usually good. And those are teams that are, like the Rangers have been decent. The Astros are always good. Royals are, have been competitive for
2 more divisions. You got the Pacific Coast, which would be the Rockies, the Athletics, the Mariners, and the Giants.
Yep.
And then last you would have the West, which is the Diamondbacks, the Angels, the Dodgers, and the Padres. Bull, just in theory, before we dive into each of these divisions.
Yeah.
You think it'd be a good idea for Major League Baseball to go in that direction?
Yes, 100%. I think now the old school people, like they were with all the rule changes, Howie Rose, who I love, one of my favorite play-by-play guys, the Mets longtime broadcaster. He's one of my favorites. He's great. He lost his mind over this because it totally destroys the history of American League, National League. You have to change. You have to stay with the times. I in many ways, I hate Rob Manfred because I don't think he loves baseball. And the way he's handled relationships with the players has been awful. But in some ways, Rob Manfred's been quietly a great commissioner in terms of moving the game forward. The rule changes baseball has made have been a major positive. The fact that games are that first night when we went to the Cubs-Blue Jays game in Toronto, that Wednesday night game, the game was, I think it ended up being 2 hours and 5 minutes. Games are much faster now.
Back then it was 3-something.
3.5, 4 hours.
Most games, you used to think baseball is a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
Now many games are 2.5 hours or less. It's better. I'm in the minority, I think, especially amongst diehard fans. I love the base runner on second in the extra innings.
You all want to swing off?
Nah, that I don't want. That I don't want.
You know what's so crazy is we talk about realignment.
Yeah.
But you go back. This is weird. Like I'm looking at the standings. I just picked a date from 1985. In the American League East, you had the Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Tigers, Baltimore, Boston, Milwaukee, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Dang.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
What you had to do to even make the postseason.
Right.
Then
At that time, only 4 teams made it.
And so you knew you had the best teams. There was no So basically, you went from this to the new Central, model where they broke it down a little bit. So they have changed it a lot.
They have. They've basically kept the NL and the AL. This would totally blow it up.
Yeah.
Now, I like it. I like the Mets and Yankees being in the same division.
Now,
I like the Cubs and White Sox being in the same division. From a purist standpoint, because baseball, I think baseball got the most unwritten rules in any sport. Yeah.
Like people viewed like all of that, the doctrine and how big of a deal is it that there's a National League and American League?
To me, I don't care.
I mean,
for most old school fans, it's a big deal. But you know what? The records don't matter anymore. Both leagues have the same rules. You play interleague play all the time. I want baseball to continue to think forward. They need to do they're improving their TV coverage. It's got to be better. You can't have any more of these blackouts. I should be able to watch the Guardians games on my MLB app. I shouldn't have to have to pay extra for it.
When did he allude to when this could potentially happen?
No, not really. But
why? I figure they got bigger fish to fry. I mean, it's potentially
there's going to be probably a lockout at the end of the next year.
Correct.
But part of what they're thinking is the owners are like, yeah, we're going to lose money for a year, but we're going to get the expansion fees for 2 teams, and that's going to be a lot of money for the owners.
McNuggets.
That's what they're going to do. Where did he project the other team besides Nashville?
Charlotte.
So you're going to put 2 teams in like the Southeast?
So, I thought it was like between Portland, Salt Lake City.
Montreal, maybe.
I thought it was like Portland, Salt Lake City, and Nashville.
Do you believe so?
Oh, Nashville's 100% getting a team.
Oh yeah, they're coming with that. Do you believe that, like, say for instance, if they did away, because I'll be trying to figure it out, because people say in baseball, we'll get rid of divisions. Like if it was basketball and they said get rid of the Western Conference and Eastern Conference, would you be down for it?
In basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, basketball, the division.
Because I mean, for me, I would get rid of divisions for everything.
And just have
have teams
30-team league,
and you play each other.
Top 16 make the playoffs.
Top make the playoffs.
It would. You know what? It would. Even though I think there's too many teams,
you get the best 16 teams every year.
And instead of like, well, we're not playing that hard, we're going to be the 3 seed. Well, maybe now you're the 6 seed.
Right.
That's like when the Big Ten finally got rid of East and West. It's like
the
top 2 teams now.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Yeah.
These conferences are arbitrary at this point. Like, put them in. Listen, y'all play whoever y'all going to play. Like you said, they're playing interleague anyway.
Yeah. If you play what? If you played 29, 58, that's too many games. I was going to say, in the NBA, if you're going to do that, you might have to go to like an even schedule. But if you play every team 3 times, it's too many games.
Yeah, the divisions don't really matter to me.
Divisions
in
are
basketball
100% meaningless
at all.
The only reason they do it is because of scheduling. You play those teams more than you play other teams. Right. It's literally that's it. I wouldn't be against just making it more open conference, but I do think there is something, and this is why I love the geographical idea in baseball, to proximity rivalries. And when you play a certain team a certain amount of times, you aren't going to develop rivalries if you play a team once every 4 years or once every 2. You know what I'm saying? Like in your own stadium. So
I don't know. I mean,
and aren't rivalries based on whether or not you're good or not? Like, say for instance, the Golden State Warriors and the Cavs had a rivalry. Right. That's just because they were the 2 best teams and they saw each other.
That's it.
Like in the Big Ten, like for college football, I feel like that's done.
Whoa, what you talking about?
Like pretty soon, like there's a lot of rivalries that like died. Like say for instance, Pittsburgh and West Virginia. Okay, backyard brawl. That's not like some of the people move to divisions. You still got Oklahoma and Texas play each other, right?
Yeah, they're in the same.
But they're in the same division. But like if you had UCLA and USC, they're in the same division. They leave as packs. But there's lots of people who don't even be playing like that no more. Like Marshall and West Virginia, they're not playing no more. They're in 2 different conferences. We don't even see that no more. So
there's like a handful of rivalries, and the one that's about to be up is USC versus Notre Dame,
right?
And if that happens,
they just like I just think
if Ohio State didn't play the Wolverines,
well, I think they would have
that would be
they would make them
or
play.
if Auburn didn't play Alabama,
they would make them play.
That's
y'all got to still play.
That's not happening. But bottom line, Mike, I think I'm open to any ideas. I like realignment.
I like this.
And, and then I assume if they went to 32 teams, they'd do what football does and go to 7 teams. I just hope that both football and baseball don't go to 8. To me, 7's the number for football. 6 I like in baseball right now. I can live with 7 if they go to 32 teams. That's it. I don't want that 8th team. I feel like in the NFL they're going to go to that 8th team eventually.
Man, will there ever be? Could you get an overseas division? What if
football?
I want a London
in football,
a Barcelona.
They said
a Germany.
I think they're trying to do
Paris.
That.
Yeah,
I want 4 of them. If you got 4 new teams,
I'm surprised.
It's
honestly,
too much travel.
But I'm just saying,
they would. So how they
if it's 4 teams over there, like you could just come and make a block, and you just would be over there.
That's exactly what they said. You just play all 4 of the teams while you over there.
I'm surprised. I know 32 is a good number for the NFL because it's perfect with the 8 4-team divisions. I am really surprised, though, with as much money as the NFL has made, that they haven't expanded in a while. Because you could easily expand.
Where you want to go?
Well, I mean, you could go to Europe.
I want 4.
So you do want to go overseas?
I don't necessarily want to.
I mean, the way they go to London every year, they might as well.
I feel that if the NFL did it correctly and there were 4 good teams, they could actually put a dent on football, real soccer. I think it will never be as popular as soccer. But
they can at least
it can put a dent into it because you got 4 teams. You start developing the regionalness of it.
Yeah.
Now you start to have teams where you like, okay, well now kids will want to play football. Yeah. And that's where you get the base.
Then how would you do it? Then you'd have 9 divisions of 4 teams. How would you figure? You'd have to add like 8 teams, I think. Where could you put an extra NFL team?
In the United States?
United States. Could you put a second team in Chicago?
I mean,
you probably could.
Possibly.
Well, you know what? You could put a team in Toronto.
Yes, that's one.
You could put a team in Toronto. You could put a second team in Chicago. You put another team in San Diego. There should be a team in San Diego.
San Diego
one.
St. Louis deserves a football team.
St. Louis would get one back.
St. Louis, Oakland, San Diego would all.
They sell out in the XFL.
Yeah.
The old Rams Stadium.
Yeah.
When you look at the XFL or whatever that league is now.
Yeah.
UFL.
They had like 45% of the entire league's
right. Yeah.
Attendance.
Yeah, so don't do Chicago. So do
St. Louis,
Toronto, St. Louis, San Diego, and Oakland.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. And we got the 4.
And then a team in Paris, a team in London, a team in Barcelona, and a team in Munich. There you go.
By the way, that
40-team NFL.
That would be fire. Can you imagine?
They'd have to start playing on Tuesdays.
Love it.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Hey, we'll negotiate it.
Let's go 18-game schedule. 18-game schedule.
You got a game to watch.
18-game schedule with 2 buys over 20 weeks.
Can you imagine?
Super Bowl.
The royal family.
Yeah.
Is coming to the game. You're live from Paris.
Yeah.
At the Eiffel Tower. They built a state-of-the-art stadium by the Eiffel Tower.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be.
Woo!
Yeah. All right, Mike.
We have our guest ready, so we're going to bring in Sweeny Murti in 1 second. First, a quick word from Game Time. Guys, we've all been there before, logging on, waiting for tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show or a game you've been dying to see. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping, and that's where Game Time comes in. Game Time makes getting tickets to a concert, a comedy event, or a baseball, football, or basketball game easier than ever. Prices actually drop the closer it gets to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with Game Time's killer last-minute deals. You heard Bull tell his story about it earlier in the show. Well, Game Time really works. Take the guesswork out of buying your tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create Create an account and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download the GameTime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. We're going to bring in Sweeny Murti here from MLB.com in 1 second, but first, we have a little teaser from his brand new show that came out last week called No Easy Outs, which featured Cleveland Guardians outfielder Stephen Kwan. Take a listen.
I was able to start the first game of the season, which should show how the staff felt about me. And I just did not feel that way about myself at all. Like I thought I was really lucky to start the first game when I struck out twice. And I remember, I think after my second strikeout, just like being in the dugout, talking to one of the assistant coaches, being like, what's happening? Like almost on the verge of tears. It took a lot of growth that year to get to where I wanted to be. Understanding there was a problem up there. This was a completely different feeling. Rapid breathing, all these kind of things. Like I just knew I had to slow everything down. And when I thought of meditation back then, I thought of like the incense burning and you're cross-legged, fingers up. But it was nothing like that. It was really just identifying thoughts that you have, recognizing them, and then being able to move on from there. And I thought that was super powerful because once I applied that practice to just even like a batting cage session, I'm like, I have all these thoughts in my head right now that I had no idea. Like no wonder I couldn't hit. Like I'm thinking a million miles an hour right now. So that was like the first step to really understanding like this is truly a very mental game and I need to dominate that.
That obviously is part of the episode with the Guardian Stephen Kwan, and here's my friend Sweeny Murti with us now. Sweeny, how you been, my friend? What's going on?
Well, I'm great, and let me just apologize right off the bat to everybody. I got my times mixed up. I thought we were on at night last week, so I didn't mean to blow you guys off. I just assumed you were like the David Letterman of Cleveland by now.
I mean, really? Sweetie, I've been in the business 25 years. You still think I'm working late nights? I mean, I'm too old for that crap, Sweeny, you know.
Yeah,
and this is a show that is trying to engage with kids. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're looking for that group that's, between 7 and 12 years old, little league age kids, and watching with their parents, really, because these are the kinds of things that you want your kids to really pick up on. Understand that major league stars just aren't great players all the time. They had troubles too. And part of what Steven talks about were some of his struggles in college, but also growing up, trying to find his identity as someone who is short and shorter than almost every one of his friends, and being an Asian American in a sport that at the time didn't have a lot of Asian American people to look up to. So, he mentions Ichiro as being one of his first role models in that regard. So we're trying to get to people. Andrew McCutcheon is our next episode, and that drops tomorrow, 10 a.m. on MLB's YouTube, where all these shows live. We just want parents and little league age kids to really understand that big league players have struggles that they overcame and are just like that.
I think this is really important, Sweeny. Engaging kids in baseball. Like, I've been coaching my son in Little League for the last 4 years. Myself and a couple of other guys, we started a new fall baseball league that we start immediately after Little League because we have a lot of kids that want to play baseball. But it's interesting because, obviously I'm spending a lot of time with these kids. Even though they love playing, not that many are regularly watching baseball. And when I was a kid and when you were a kid, we all watched baseball, especially growing up in the New York area. I mean, every kid I knew watched baseball. And the young kids, even the ones that like playing, there's a few, but a lot of them are not watching. And baseball needs to do a better job of connecting with those kids, especially the ones that like to play. They got to get them watching too.
Yeah, and we're finding kind of different ways to do that. This is the first episode that we've put out here. We've got a few more for this season, and then we'll get out a couple of more, really dig in on season 2, because we're coming up to the end of the season here in postseason. Listen, there's still a lot of great baseball being played, and it's, frankly, it's a little bit easier to watch for kids right now because it is moving at a faster pace.
Yep.
And we do have some things that we're doing with that. And, a lot of kids are, like your kids and mine, they're attached to their phones, right? So This show streams on YouTube on MLB, and a lot of digital content that is being created to kind of help them become fans and stay fans.
Sweeny, the last week we were discussing the Guardians' chances of making the postseason. Obviously, before they went up against the Braves, they was probably like a game or a half a game.
They were a half game out.
Yeah, half game out. Obviously, they got swept, and right now they're sitting at 3 games out. But McNuggets brought up run differential?
Run differential.
And they are like minus 32. And everybody else is like plus 40, plus 90. Do you think that really matters? Or do you think that gives an accurate definition of them making the postseason?
Well, what it tells you in general is that they're playing above what their numbers are, right? So they're doing a really good job of maximizing what they have. So credit to Stephen Vogt and the Guardians for staying in this playoff race. But you're at a point in time right now, like run differential and everything like that measures kind of things that are expected over the course of a long season. This is no longer a long season. The playoffs begin in 6 weeks, 6 short weeks from today. That's less than spring training. So you're talking about a time period where almost anything can happen, and it's a little bit different than it used to be. One, you do have the 3 wild card spots. You used to have 2 until a few years ago, but you also have the trading deadline is passed, and we're no longer in an August window where teams could still make these waiver trades where you sneak player through waivers and you still we're able to add big league help. You can't make those trades anymore, and things can rise up or fall apart very quickly for a team. A few years ago, the Yankees were riding high into August. They suffered major injuries to Anthony Rizzo and Matt Carpenter and DJ LeMahieu, and they're not trading for, and all happened a week into August. They're not trading for big league players to fill those holes. You kind of have to go from within and see what happens. So there's a lot that can happen here, and when you're only 3 games out, I don't count anybody out.
Sweeny, I look. You just mentioned the Yankees. Now the Guardians are behind the Yankees in the wild card, but I don't know why this happens because there's a stigma in my head that I always look at the Guardians and I look at the Yankees and I'm like, yes, they are close, but every time we play the Yankees, it seems that we play hard, we're up, we're winning the game, and then here comes the 3-run home run. And it's just like the Yankees' room for error seems to be more than the Guardians. When you're coming down the backstretch and you're looking at the composition of the two teams, it seems like the Yankees have more room for error because they can hit the baseball, and it seems like the Guardians have to play pinpoint accurate baseball to kind of stay and compete. How do you think this thing shakes out in the last month or two?
Listen, if you get into the playoffs and you have a short series, one guy can change the complexion of a game. The Yankees obviously have Aaron Judge. And listen, Jose Ramirez is that kind of guy, and everybody around baseball does view him that way. And we saw last year, the Guardians are capable of stealing a game. That late inning magic that they had, they didn't outlast the Yankees in the series, but you still obviously have talent there that, like I said, anything can happen in one of these series. But, you brought up a great point. Like, all the time, during the course of a season, it's not unheard of for, the Guardians to win 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. So why is it so hard to win 4 out of 5? Or 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 7. It's the same game. Pressure gets ratcheted up. Some players rise up, some don't. A lot of different things happen. But listen, it's very easy for you to sit there and say, sure, Cleveland can win 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. So you give them any chance in the series. I think the baseball postseason is always wide open for that reason.
Sweeny, I want to talk more about Stephen Kwan, who you interviewed for your show. We love Stephen Kwan here. I think the whole town was kind of holding. I know you and I first spoke about you coming on right before the trade deadline, and everybody was kind of holding their breath about whether or not Stephen Kwan would get traded. Nobody wants him gone. He's very likable. He comes off as very down to earth. I'm sure you experienced that. The fact that he's talked publicly so much about his imposter syndrome that he was going through, and like most athletes would never talk about something like that. He's like a nerd, he plays chess, does all these things, and we love it, and nobody wanted him gone. But they haven't been able to come up with a long-term agreement with him. He's a very unique player for 2025 baseball. I'm not sure who his comp was. I thought maybe it was like an Andrew Benintendi, who's obviously not as good as we thought he'd be at the time, but there's not a lot of players like him. His one flaw is that he doesn't have much power, but he does everything else well. So I don't know what his dollar value is. Do you have any sense of that?
You're right. It's hard to gauge that because power is what gets paid in this market. But let me tell you something, Bull. You weren't the only one. We've been putting this show together since early June with Steven.
Yeah.
We're getting up to the trade deadline. We know that this show debuts in August. We're sweating bullets that he's sitting there in Cleveland Guardians gear in the entire show.
Right, yeah.
It's like we can't airbrush all that stuff out. Let's go. Let's keep him there. I think he is a terrific player to have. You build a team around guys like Quan and Jose Ramirez. You can do that. I don't know what the market holds. I haven't spoken to Steven specifically about what his goals are as far as long-term contract and what free agency can bring. So there's a lot of different variables there, including what's really just inside his heart. But you're right. He seems to really love his place in Cleveland. And there's still time to get that together. You're not up against the deadline this year on that.
So, where are you at on the MLB expansion? We were just talking about, them potentially going to Nashville and.
You stole my question. I was waiting for that question. Go ahead, Sweeny. He's a dirty, go ahead.
Yeah.
You
read his mind.
That's crazy, right? Well, listen, once you split the leagues up again evenly into 15 and 15 a few years ago and created interleague play pretty much every day, I think you knew that down the road at some point a possibility would have to be that you add 2 more teams and you're back to 16 in each league, and it sets up, however you want to align that. I don't know. Listen, it happens way above my pay grade. I don't know where they stand at the exact moment on that, but I think if you're looking at the way the sport evolves and the way the league looks, I would think it makes a lot of sense to have 32 teams.
Yeah, I agree. I got no problem with it. I know. Howie Rose, who, of course, very well and is a great broadcaster, he was apoplectic about this. He hates, I'm really torn on Manfred. I was just saying this. There's a lot of things about the way he's handled the players and negotiations that I think are very poor. But honestly, even as an old school baseball fan, I love the pitch clock. It's made a huge difference in terms of time of game. I love the ghost runner at second base. I'm sure I'm in the minority on it. I love it. I just think they've done a lot of things that have improved the game. They've got to promote it better. I didn't even know about that NASCAR game until it happened. I had no clue. And they need to promote the Little League game better. But I think change is good. Going to DH in both leagues, home run move. That was such a great move to get rid of pitchers hitting.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, if you want to make sure you know what's happening, follow MLB on all your social channels. We were promoting the Little League Classic. We were promoting the Speedway Classic. So it's all there. Just make sure you're on that. I heard a bit of wisdom a few years ago, Bull, that I'm going to share with you. And kind of tying back to the comment that you're talking about from Howie and everybody else. I heard somebody say one time that every baseball fan just wants the game to be what it's like when they were 10 years old.
Right.
And it's kind of a wheelhouse age because you're old enough to read, you're old enough to do math and figure out batting averages and things like that, and you understand some of the more complex things about the game. You check the standings, you're doing that every day, and you have the ability to really dig in and understand that. Well, that means something different to everybody. If you're 30 or if you're 60, that 10-year-old window, baseball looked a lot different. Yeah. And it's kind of what everybody kind of always falls back on. I think if you just stop and watch the players that are on the field right now and how exciting the game is, you'll understand that it's there. Another person that I speak with pretty regularly said, listen, the game's not any better. It's not any worse. It's just different. And it's our job to work with what's there. And what's there, if you're watching, man, there's some really incredible athletic players in the field. And instead of trying to pick them apart for what they can't do, I think we really need to spend time enjoying what they can do.
I 100% agree. I enjoy baseball the way it is now. It's flawed just like any other sport, but I think it's good. It's a different game. Yes, we all grew up looking at. I don't even look at batting average anymore, frankly. I really don't. I look at their OPS. That's all. That's my stat. That's my go-to. Are they slugging? Are they getting on base? That's what's important to me. It changes. I like where baseball is right now. I think it's a good game. It's a good sport. And I think expansion would be good. And I think changing the division, although that Northeast division, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, Red Sox, crazy. That would just be nuts. But I love it. The Mets and Yankees in the same division is great. It would be great, don't you think? I think Sweeny froze up.
Yeah.
It did freeze out. Give him 1 sec to get back in here.
He'll get on. I love that division. I think it's exciting.
I wanted to ask him about Cal Raleigh, by the way, if he pops back in for a sec.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it has nothing to do with Cleveland.
Yeah.
And Sweeney's back. We got Sweeney back. So, yeah,
There
Sweeney,
you go.
we got him back. Sorry about that.
So what do you like that division, Sweeny?
I mean, I don't know what the final thing's going to look like. I don't even see. I tell you the truth, I have no idea what divisions they put up when the
That was
the
Jim Bowden. Jim Bowden just threw out a prediction of what it would be.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, no idea. I think that you just kind of have to wait to see what it looks like. But like we kind of just talked about, whatever happens, the game is going to be the game, and the players are just so electric to watch. I mean, I love, right there in your home state, I love watching Ellie De La Cruz, and I watch him, and I think Alfonso Soriano from 20 years ago, or I think Juan Samuel from 40 years ago. I mean, these are exciting players. And I know we start to pick apart guys like him, O'Neal Cruz, and the swing and miss, man. It's just hard to hit right now. And everybody's out there throwing 100 miles an hour, and you see 4 different guys a night when you're coming to bat 5 times. So there are some things that just aren't the same. But, man, when these guys play and you see them do their thing, it's really fun to watch.
It's funny that you say that, Sweetie, because I was watching the Cubs and Brewers yesterday, and I was thinking how Nico Horner reminds me of Tom Herr.
Yeah.
Like Nico Horner in the 80s would have been a 2-hitter, 100% 2-hitter, and now he bats lower in the lineup. He doesn't have any power, but this comps for all guys. But I do think the game is in a good place. Attendance is pretty good. I do think we need to fix. There is a problem in terms of payroll disparity. I personally think it's the fault of the cheaper owners and not the more expensive owners. But you need to find a way to the Guardians can't keep being a farm team for other teams. It hurts attendance here, and same thing for the other small market teams. But that needs to be fixed. And we'll see what happens with this labor stoppage. But overall, I think the game has a lot more positives than negatives to me.
Bull, I think you and I can just get in a room and hammer all this out, right?
Yeah,
we don't need to wait. Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead, Mike. You wanted to ask about Cal?
Yeah, I had to ask because I know you cover all teams, and we're so hyper-focused here in Cleveland, Sweeny, but Cal Raleigh's projected, based on his current pace, as a catcher to hit 60 home runs and drive in 131 RBIs. Sweeny, when you look back at all the incredible things you've seen individual players accomplish over the course of your career covering the league, where is what Cal Raleigh's doing right now in Seattle rank among some of just the most absurd things you've ever seen, considering the position he plays defensively?
Yeah, it's the position which does it. And I don't know his exact breakdown, the number of games he's caught versus games he's DH'd, but that's going to be a big factor here down the stretch, because historically you have a lot of catchers who do have big first halves, but then they wear down because catching takes a lot out of you when you're talking about July, August, and September. And I'm curious to see where he goes in these final 6 weeks of the regular season. I think back to Mike Piazza had these amazing seasons, but he was never winning MVPs when he was the Mets because those August, September numbers always took a little bit of a hit down. I watched Jorge Posada with the Yankees, who was a very good offensive player who played a lot of games behind the plate. And his August and September numbers were never quite as good as they were earlier in the year. So there is a lot of wear and tear. And I'm curious to see, especially with the Mariners in the race, how teams are going to pitch to him and what the wear and tear behind the plate does over these final, 100, 150 at-bats, whatever he's going to get.
Yeah, I mean, if the season ended today, I'm voting for Cal Raleigh personally.
That's crazy.
Over Aaron Judge. And I know Aaron Judge is having a great season. But the fact that he has to play catcher, and he plays catcher at a high level, and the Mariners, to me, the Mariners are nowhere without him. Nowhere. They're not a playoff team without him.
I don't think you can argue with, if somebody voted for Cal Raleigh over Aaron Judge and put Aaron Judge second, I mean, I wouldn't argue with you, right? If you voted Aaron Judge first and put Cal Raleigh second, you have your reasons. I wouldn't argue with you. I think it's that close because those two guys are having such great years. And it's just going to come down to the difference of opinion of the voters. That's all.
Sweeny, do you think Major League Baseball will change its approach, or is there a need to change its approach on gambling?
In what way?
There was some legislations that talked about not letting people bet on pitch to pitch, like or balls and strikes.
In Ohio, they're talking about that specifically because of the situation with Clase and Ortiz. Our governor wants to try to end, pitch by pitch gambling
for fans.
For fans, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's legislation for fans. It has nothing to do with the players. I understand the concern. I don't think that there's any effect on that on the players themselves in the game, so I can't really speak to that. But it's something that obviously is being talked about because of the situation you guys have there.
Sweeny, before I let you go, tell us again about the show and how the folks can watch it.
No Easy Outs is the brand new show. It's on MLB's YouTube channel. Follow MLB on YouTube, all your other social platforms like X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you'll get access to the clips and the full episodes there. You can subscribe to MLB's YouTube channel and get those episodes delivered to you. Stephen Kwan featured in the first one, and a lot of good reviews from a lot of people I know in Cleveland too. So I'm glad they enjoyed seeing him in a new light and seeing him speak out. Andrew McCutchen, who you see there, is episode 2. That tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on MLB's YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoy it because McCutchen talks about giving up a championship-winning hit as a pitcher in Little League when he was 12 years old. Can you imagine being on the same field with Andrew McCutchen, that athlete at 12 years old, and you got to beat him in a Little League game? Coming back from that, fighting back from that, and understanding that failure is a part of the game and you have to learn how to deal with it, a life lesson like that, that's McCutchen's story that you'll see tomorrow.
That is great. The Stephen Kwan episode was great. I've watched it. Make sure you check it out with your kids, especially if they're, I believe you said 8 to 12. I think that is a perfect range. And Andrew McCutchen, like Stephen Kwan, I don't know him personally, but from all accounts is one of the most likable guys in all of Major League Baseball. I assume that's the case, Sweeny?
Absolutely. Terrific guy. Listen, Roberto Clemente Award winner, right?
Yeah.
That says a lot about who he is. And, he's accomplished so much in this game. And I'll tell you this about him, he has presence, right? When Andrew McCutchen talks, you want to just keep hearing him talk.
Yeah. That basically sums it up. Sweeny, we appreciate it. Best of luck with the show. Yep. Everybody will follow MLB on all social media and check out the show. We'll talk to you again soon, Sweeny. Thanks.
Thanks, Bull. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. Sweeny Murti, he covered it was the Yankees beat reporter for WFAN in New York for many, many years before going over to MLB.com. That's how I know him.
Man, why beat reporters be working a lot, bro? They be like, especially with baseball.
God, yeah. And he would be on the air with all the different hosts on the Fan every day.
It's crazy. Yeah. You was about to do it. You thought about being a beat reporter.
Well, I wasn't about to do it. Nobody was offering me the job.
You said you talked to Jason. It's like, what? I should be a beat reporter.
I was thinking about it, and then Jason told me how much he thought I would get paid, and I was like, I'm no longer.
All right, we got some super chats to wrap up today's show. Once again, thank you to everyone who sent us in super chats. We got a bunch to get to. First one comes from D. Grat, who says, I have a message for Shador fans that don't root for the Browns and continue to trash the city and team online. You guys can kick rocks with no shoes on. Cleveland supports 12, hands down.
Okay.
Doggy Bone says, cook 'em today, G. Bush. # the facts. Donnie M says, after watching the Bengals starting line last night, your Bengals are in trouble. That first game of the season bowl, Browns 31, Bengals 13.
They done got headlines already? The headlines is already?
Before you answer that, the next super chat's from Jay Visuals, who says, do you guys think we beat the Bengals in week 1 with how bad their defense is?
These dudes is they scouting, bro.
Yeah.
These dudes Maybe they got to Joe Flacco was named starter. Cass got
people confident. Danny Cannell took a minute from his conspiracy theory run to say the Browns are going to win 9-10 games.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So people started to get on my side.
You think you can win 9-10 games?
No, I said 8.
Okay.
8, 9 is what I had.
All right. Somebody tweeted at me today, said, I thought the Browns were going to win 5, but now that they've named Flacco the starter, I think they're going to win 10. You think Joe Flacco It's 5 wins.
Listen,
at 40 years old.
I didn't know the Kool-Aid Mafia was alive and well.
They are.
Right early. We haven't passed no Kool-Aid out yet. We
need some Flaccavelli merch.
Oh, listen, Flaccavelli. Listen, he throw for 300 the first game?
Why is Dustin calling me during the show?
That's wild. Maybe he acknowledged you.
That is the most Dustin thing of all time.
Because my name is Adam, obviously, I get so many butt dials. Because for a lot of people, I might be the first entry in their phone.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
My son's going to have it even worse with AA.
Aaron, yeah. All right, next one.
By the way, the Bengals defense is probably not going to be very good. That's fair. But to bring up the offensive line, that's so stupid. When have the Bengals ever had a good offensive line for Joe Burrow? And their offense is always great. So that's a stupid thing to bring up. Bengals may be signing a veteran offensive lineman today. They better.
Low High says, G's Midnight Serenade, supported with Bill Nye exhibits, was a masterclass on par with 50 Cent's levels of compassion and petty, and it needs to be studied.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Man, listen, so last night I went scientific. I went to the psychological biases in terms of the 4th round and why Shedeur Sanders is in last place right now. I went over psychological and scientific evidence that pointed to all specific facts showing why that we are in Cleveland think the way we do. It was all right. Some people say it was my best work. I don't know. Shout out to y'all. Go check it out.
All right, check it out.
Check it out. Cooper.
Hey, man, I ain't got no words. Come on, roll it, man.
All right, well, this next one's for you, Tyvis. Cooper Ironman says, Ty, let me smoke you on college football and carry you on COD.
First of all, you got to bring that next word. You can't say, Ty, let me smoke you, and then pause right there. McNuggets, you got to rattle that off quickly.
I don't think did I pause?
By the way, what do you think about, what's his name, first name?
Julian
Saiyan.
He going to go Super Saiyan. He gonna have the yellow hair. He gonna be the Super Saiyan with the yellow hair. Then once the CFP come, it's gonna be the blue hair one.
Do you know the levels of Super Saiyan?
Yeah, I just said the blue one's the last one, right?
No.
Is it the white?
It's gray, kinda.
Gray white.
It's like silver.
Kinda.
Whatever.
I need the evolutionary state of it. We'll talk offline.
We got a bunch.
He should play upon this. Like, I don't know. He
should.
losing
all right, next Super Chat.
We got some more. We'll do some more Super Saiyan chats in OT. Dragon the Abandoner said, would you guys trade either of our rookie quarterbacks for Anthony Richardson?
No! Bull! Don't you sit here. No, don't you do it.
I'd trade Dylan Gabriel for Anthony Richardson. Why not?
Okay, now listen. Now hold on. You know me. I listen. When you say rookie quarterbacks, I'm only thinking about one person anyway.
Yeah.
I'm playing, but if you want, I'll take Dylan Gabriel for Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson's probably not. As
He's
good,
probably not good, but
there's down deep. There is some talent
something,
there.
Yeah.
Is he better?
Halim Youssef
Yeah.
says, sometimes you get what you need, not what you want. G is dropping bars today. That's deep. Pause.
Yeah, man.
Mr. 216 said, it's okay to force feed the rookies. With that said, that would force the rest of the team and the vets to step up and lead. Jay Visuals wants to know, would the Eagles have made the playoffs last year with Kenny Pickett as their starter?
No.
Is that a serious question?
It was. James Mace Jr. says, if the Browns cut or trade Shedeur and he has a career like Baker, would that be the right decision?
What do you mean?
What?
So if they cut him and he turned out to be what Baker is today, would that be a right decision? And I would say no.
No, of course not. How could it be the right decision?
He's throwing for 4,000.
Because I think he's making the point that they should have kept Baker.
Maybe. I mean, looking now, it seems like they should have. Yeah. I'm not personally convinced that he would have turned it around here.
He is.
I think he needed to hit rock bottom.
I got 4 more. Let me get to these last 4.
All right,
2 from James Mace. First one is, G. Bush, your commentary has been on God mode the last couple of weeks. Salute. James also says, Mikey, it's criminal that you guys don't get the money from Super Chat. It goes to UCSS. It just doesn't go to us directly. It goes to the big pot.
We don't need to take your money personally.
Well, we talked about it yesterday where it goes. It goes like just above the pay chain.
It goes to the general fund.
The general fund.
To help support the show.
Yes. It's not that we don't get it. It just doesn't go directly to us.
Yeah.
Triz said, That's Matt Stafford, highlight of the show today. 5 laughing emojis.
Right,
You can't make the club from the tub. And Dontavius Winston says, not saying that Dylan Gabriel is the next Mahomes, but to label him as a career backup after one half of preseason is crazy. I like Shador, but we got to stop trying to tear down Gabriel for Shador.
I am not labeling him based on. I don't care what either of these guys. What Shador and Dylan Gabriel did in the preseason to me is 100% meaningless. That's just my general feeling on Gabriel coming in.
And we got a real topic coming up in overtime in 2.5 minutes.
Is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer? I wanted to.
We can do that too. Peace.
Yeah.